Welcome back, everyone. Today, we're diving into 5 things that the wealthy eagerly strive to own, while the less fortunate often overlook or never even consider. 1. Financial leverage. The rich use debt to build wealth. A loan. The wealthy embrace it, while the poor avoid it. Some argue that buying a house with borrowed money means you aren't truly wealthy. However, this is a misconception. In reality, the more money you can borrow, the wealthier you are. Why? Because banks only lend to those with strong financial standing, while the poor are left to rely on savings. According to the Federal Reserve, total outstanding consumer credit in the U.S. surpassed $5 trillion in 2023, with the majority allocated to individuals and businesses with solid financial backgrounds. Those with lower credit scores or insufficient assets often struggle to secure loans, leaving them to depend on savings accounts that offer annual interest rates of only 1 to 4%. Meanwhile, the wealthy leverage loans with similar interest rates to invest in real estate, stocks, or business expansions. Take billionaire Elon Musk as an example. Musk has repeatedly utilized financial leverage to fuel the growth of his ventures, including Tesla and SpaceX. By strategically using borrowed capital, he was able to scale his companies exponentially rather than relying solely on his personal wealth. As Chinese economist Lin Yifu once said, "The poor deposit their money in banks, unknowingly subsidizing the rich. The poor let their money sit idle, while the wealthy put their money to work." Why borrow money instead of paying off debt quickly? Consider this anecdote. Wang Xikong once asked his father, billionaire Wang Jianlin, "Dad, how much money does our family have?" His father replied, "Enough for you to spend for 2 lifetimes without running out." Wang Xikong then asked, "How much debt do we have?" Wang Jianlin answered, "Enough for you to spend 8 lifetimes paying it off." Yet, Wang Jianlin remains among China's wealthiest individuals. The secret? He mastered debt management. Debt is not a burden, but a tool for profit. A Western parallel can be found in the real estate sector. According to a report by CBRE, major property developers like Blackstone and Brookfield Asset Management maintain high debt ratios, often exceeding twice their equity. However, they utilize this debt to acquire and develop properties that generate substantial returns, ensuring sustained growth and profitability. Additionally, during inflationary periods, the real value of debt decreases. For example, in 2010, the average price of a gallon of milk in the US was around $2.80, but by 2023, it had risen to approximately $4.50. If you had $1,000 in 2010, you could buy around 357 gallons of milk, but in 2023, that same amount would only buy about 222 gallons. This demonstrates that borrowing $1 million in 2010 had far greater purchasing power than the same amount in 2023. With US inflation rates averaging 2.94% annually, a fixed interest loan effectively shrinks in real cost over time. This is why the wealthy are unafraid of debt. They understand that inflation helps them pay it off. Debt is not a liability if managed wisely. Instead of fearing debt, use it as a financial tool to invest and grow wealth. The wealthy make money work for them, while the poor let money lose value. While the poor may save diligently for 10 years before investing, the wealthy borrow money to invest immediately and repay it with future profits. This fundamental difference in financial thinking creates a gap in wealth accumulation. According to the Federal Reserve, the average interest rate on a 12-month certificate of deposit, CD, in 2023 ranged from 4–5%, while inflation hovered around 3 to 4%. This means the real return on savings was only 1 to 2% per year, and that's before considering the declining purchasing power of cash. A prime example of leveraging money to create wealth is the real estate market. Wealthy investors in the US, such as Sam Zell and Warren Buffett, have consistently used borrowed funds to acquire valuable properties. Buffett, for instance, has strategically invested in real estate-backed companies, understanding that long-term appreciation and rental income far outweigh short-term borrowing costs. Conversely, those who delay investment, waiting to accumulate savings, often find themselves priced out of lucrative opportunities. Consider real estate values. In 2013, the median home price in the US was around $180,000. By 2023, it had surged to approximately $420,000. Someone who waited to save up lost out on significant gains, whereas an investor who borrowed money early capitalized on appreciation. How do the wealthy save over 10 years? They don't save conventionally. They use financial leverage. Instead of saving $1 million over a decade, they borrow $1 million today, invest in rental properties yielding 5 to 7% annually, and benefit from an average property value appreciation of 30 to 50% over 5 years. Rental income helps pay down the loan while their asset grows in value. The wealthy never let money sit idle. They constantly find ways to make it work for them. The poor, fearing risk, choose to play it safe, but in doing so, they allow their money to depreciate. This fundamental difference in financial mindset and action determines who stays poor and who builds lasting wealth. 2. Long-term thinking. Investing in sustainable assets. In today's world, long-term thinking is not just a strategy, but a philosophy that helps investors build lasting wealth. In Western markets, where financial systems are well developed, investing in sustainable assets like stocks, index funds, ETFs, real estate, and technology has proven to be a safe and effective way to protect and grow wealth over time. Investing in the stock market. The key to sustainability. One of the most common ways to invest long-term in the West is through the stock market. Index funds like the S&P 500 or NASDAQ 100 have consistently shown strong performance over decades, with an average annual growth rate of 8 to 10%. Investors who follow the buy and hold strategy often succeed by holding shares in major companies like Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, and Tesla, rather than chasing short-term gains. Jack Bogle, the founder of Vanguard, pioneered the idea that individual investors should choose index funds instead of trying to beat the market. He believed that by investing consistently, keeping costs low, and avoiding short-term trends, investors could maximize returns without needing deep financial expertise. The FIRE mindset. Financial independence and early retirement in the West. The FIRE, Financial Independence, Retire Early movement, has inspired millions to save and invest a large portion of their income to achieve early financial freedom. The core of FIRE is investing in sustainable assets, especially index funds, while following the dollar cost averaging strategy, meaning investing a fixed amount each month to take advantage of compound interest over time. For example, if someone invests $500 per month in an S&P 500 fund, after 30 years, with an average annual return of 8%, they could accumulate over $750,000 without needing to actively manage their portfolio. This strategy is widely used in 401k and Roth IRA retirement accounts in the US, helping millions of people build long-term wealth without worrying about short-term market fluctuations. Real estate and technology. Leading sustainable investments beyond stocks, real estate and technology are two other major long-term investment sectors in the West. Real estate, especially in major cities like New York, London, and San Francisco, has shown strong value appreciation over time due to the growing demand for housing and commercial spaces. At the same time, technology has become a new sustainable asset, with more investors putting money into AI, renewable energy, and blockchain. Major companies like Google, Amazon, and Tesla not only generate high profits, but also shape the global economy for decades to come. Patience and discipline. The keys to success. Legendary investor Warren Buffett once said, "The stock market is a device for transferring money from the impatient to the patient." Success in long-term investing doesn't come from chasing the hottest stock every day. Instead, it comes from patience, discipline, and emotional control during market fluctuations. Long-term investors focus on the true value of their assets rather than reacting to short-term news and trends. In Western economies, long-term thinking and investing in sustainable assets are not just financial strategies, but essential steps toward financial freedom. By choosing valuable investments, staying disciplined, and being patient, anyone can build a strong financial portfolio, withstand market ups and downs, and achieve lasting prosperity. 3. Buying time, the key to long-term success. Why do successful people never stop learning? Because they invest in knowledge and experience, knowing that these are assets that appreciate over time. There are two ways to spend money: spending on short-term pleasures, dining out, entertainment, and luxury purchases may bring temporary satisfaction, but they don't contribute to long-term growth. Spending on self-improvement, taking courses, reading books, and learning from industry leaders. Every skill and insight gained helps increase earning potential and career growth. If you want to accelerate your success, learn from those who have already paved the way. Instead of spending years figuring things out through trial and error, invest in expertise that helps you move forward faster. 2 paths in life: trial and error or strategic learning. In any career or business venture, people face 2 choices: make costly mistakes and learn the hard way. Learn from experts and avoid unnecessary setbacks. Which would you prefer? Investing in knowledge can save you years of struggle and significantly improve your decision-making. It's not just about saving money, it's about maximizing your most valuable asset: time. Some people hesitate to spend money on professional help. For example, when an appliance breaks down, they try to fix it themselves rather than calling an expert. After hours of frustration, they often still need a professional, wasting both time and additional repair costs. Successful individuals think differently. They follow a key principle: if money can solve a problem efficiently, don't waste time on it. They delegate non-essential tasks, focusing on what truly matters: strategic decisions and personal growth. Time can be bought if you know how. We all have 24 hours in a day, but high achievers know how to leverage their time effectively. Want to invest but lack expertise? Hire a financial advisor who has spent years studying the markets. Starting a business? Learn from a mentor who has successfully built one before. Need specialized skills? Take a masterclass or attend a seminar. The cost is far lower than the price of failure. A study from Harvard Business Review found that professionals who actively invest in their own education and mentorship programs are significantly more likely to achieve career success and financial stability. Investing in yourself is the smartest investment. Learning from others is not an expense. It's an investment in your future. If you value efficiency, growth, and success, the best decision you can make is to invest in knowledge that compounds over time. 4. ETF, the smart investment strategy. The wealthy always choose. If you're interested in investing but don't have the time to dive into the details, consider ETFs. Exchange-traded funds. This is a simple, effective way to invest, and it's a favorite among many big investors around the world. The story of Warren Buffett, the investment legend. Warren Buffett, one of the greatest investors of all time, once advised his wife to invest all their assets in an S&P 500 index fund if he were to pass away. With over 80 years of experience, Buffett realized that picking individual stocks requires a sharp eye that not everyone possesses, even his own family members included. To prove the power of index funds, in 2007, Buffett made a $1 million bet. He challenged anyone to pick 10 hedge funds to compete against the S&P 500 index fund. After 10 years, the S&P 500 had an average return of 8.5% per year. while the best-performing hedge fund achieved only 6.5%, with many others performing even worse. Buffett won the bet and concluded that hedge funds, with their high management fees, eat into investor profits, while index funds offer low costs and higher returns. ETF. Investing is simple as buying wholesale fruit. Imagine you want to open a fruit shop, but you're not sure which fruits will sell best. So, you decide to stock a little bit of everything. That's how ETFs work, diversifying your investment to reduce risk. The big benefits of ETFs: risk reduction. If one fruit doesn't sell well, you still have many others to balance things out. Similarly, if one stock drops in value, your ETF portfolio can still perform well due to other stocks. Optimization. The market automatically eliminates poor-performing stocks and keeps the highest quality ones. In Vietnam, ETFs like VN30 ETF or SESIM VNX50 are becoming increasingly popular with investors. Over the past 5 years, VN30 ETF has delivered an average annual return of 9–11%, outperforming traditional investment channels like savings accounts. The Smart Risk Reduction Strategy with DCAA, highly effective investment strategy that Warren Buffett always supports, is dollar cost averaging, DCA. This method involves investing a fixed amount into an index fund at regular intervals, regardless of whether market prices are high or low. This helps investors avoid the risks of trying to time the market by buying at the lowest point or selling at the peak. For example, during the 2008 financial crisis, many people rushed to catch the market bottom, but prices continued to fall. On the other hand, those who used DCA minimized risk and still benefited when the market recovered. Benefits of DCA: when the market is down, you buy at lower prices, reducing your losses. When the market rises, your profits remain steady due to regular investment. Statistics show that if you invested 1 million VND every month into the VN30 ETF over the past 5 years, your assets could have grown to nearly 850 million VND, even during periods when the market experienced sharp declines. Conclusion: long-term investment, sustainable success. Investing is not about luck. With ETFs and the DCA strategy, you save time and ensure long-term effectiveness. Remember Warren Buffett's words: you don't need to get the timing right, just be patient and the results will come. 5. Choose value, not price. Have you ever bought something cheap only to regret it later because the quality was poor and you had to throw it away after only a few uses? This is the hidden cost of cheap items. Not only does it waste your money, but it also wastes your time, effort, and expectations. On the other hand, products that might seem expensive at first but offer exceptional quality often provide long-term value, saving you money in the end. Cheap and expensive. Don't let the price tag fool you. Ask yourself if spending a bit more on a product is truly a waste, or if choosing the cheaper option will actually cost you more in the long run. A real-life example. Let's consider a practical example. A school backpack that cost $8 might fall apart after just a few months, forcing you to buy a new one. Meanwhile, a high-quality, locally made backpack for $28 might last you for years, even with features like waterproofing to protect your books and other items. When you think about it, the initial cheap backpack ends up being more expensive because you have to replace it regularly. Plus, the inconvenience and frustration of dealing with broken items adds up. Similarly, in the fashion industry, a cheap $5 t-shirt might fade or stretch out of shape after just a few washes. In contrast, a $15, $20 t-shirt from a reputable brand might last for years, keeping its shape and color while being better for the environment. The hidden trap of cheap prices. We've all been there, seeing a buy one, get one free deal at the supermarket and rushing to buy items we don't really need. Later, we leave those items sitting in the kitchen or the pantry until they expire. This is the psychological trap of cheap prices that most consumers fall into. According to a study by the Consumer magazine in Europe in 2023, more than 40% of people who buy items on sale are dissatisfied with their purchases. Some discounted products, like snacks or drinks, are simply sold off to clear out stock, and the quality is often not up to standard. A typical example is buying too much food around the holidays, thinking it's a great deal, only to end up throwing it away after the holidays when it's gone unused. Wealthy people know that value is more important than price. There's a reason why wealthy people consistently choose to spend their money on quality items, even if the price is higher. Their rule of thumb is that cheap, low-quality items are the most expensive in the long run because they waste both time and money. Take the example of a rice cooker. You might buy a cheap one for $15, but after a year, it breaks and fails to cook rice evenly, forcing you to buy a new one. Meanwhile, a higher quality rice cooker from a brand like Sharp or Toshiba, costing $80, will last 5 to 7 years, cook better, and even save energy. Smart spending, a decision that shapes your future. Smart consumers don't just look at the price, they consider the long-term costs, the effectiveness of the product, and the value it brings. As Warren Buffett, one of the greatest investors of all time, once said, "Saving money isn't about cutting expenses, it's about spending wisely." He also emphasized that inflation reduces the value of money, but managing your spending wisely will help you overcome any financial challenges. He advises that investing in quality, even if it costs more upfront, will save you in the long run because of the lasting value of the product. Additionally, having an emergency fund and always being ready for unexpected economic changes is crucial. In Europe, successful, wealthy individuals apply this principle. They are willing to invest in quality homes in prime locations rather than buying cheap homes that are in less secure areas or are prone to quick depreciation. They also invest in their children's education, choosing reputable schools over those focused solely on offering low prices. Conclusion: smart spending leads to wealth. Cheap doesn't always mean good, and expensive doesn't always mean wasteful. When you spend money, don't just look at the price tag. Consider the real value the product brings. Next time you're about to buy something, ask yourself, is this product worth the money, time, and effort? Remember, how you spend today will determine how wealthy you'll be in the future. If you've read this far, comment, "I read until the end," to let us know you didn't miss a single detail. We'd love to hear your thoughts on this topic, so don't hesitate to share them in the comments. Your feedback will help us improve and bring even better content in future videos. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you won't miss any upcoming videos. Share this with your friends and family to spread these valuable insights. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.